Welcome to the Grace Together workshop. I'd like to introduce to you Dr. Jim Sells, the co-director of the Charis Institute with me. At the Charis Institute at Regent University, we are working towards promoting healthy marriages through churches and communities all around the world.
I too welcome you, and this is Dr. Jen Ripley, and together we are the endowed chairs of Christian Thought and Mental Health at Regent University. And in this workshop, we're going to be talking to you all about marriage and family and how you can live well within your own homes.
We have invited two guests, Stanley and Imani.
Okay, I've got two issues. First of all, don't you think Trevor's teacher is going to realize that this boat was not made by a kindergartner? Secondly, can you please clear this stuff off the bar so we can get started for breakfast?
Too good, huh? You really think so? This boat actually comes with a certificate of authenticity that says Trevor built it all by himself. As for breakfast, can't we eat outside or something?
Stanley.
So this is Stanley and Imani, married for 9 years, 2 kids, 1 dog, and 1 school project, a replica of the Mayflower sitting on their kitchen table. In a way, this is a typical weekend. Typical at their home, maybe typical for you in yours.
Now that this is about done, what are we going to do today?
There's so much that needs to be done. I was thinking that I would start with grocery shopping.
Golfing?
Ooh, not likely. I was thinking maybe we could grab a coffee, hang out together, sit in the backyard.
And I was thinking when I'm done with the boat, I can take the kids either hiking or on a bike ride or something.
Oh, I was thinking maybe you could take the kids on to cleaning that garage.
Unknowingly, Stanley and Imani are going to teach us a little bit about marriage today. They're going to do so maybe while they're shopping, maybe while they're at a coffee shop, or golfing, or discussing golfing, and maybe, probably, while cleaning the garage.
No one is golfing today.
Okay, no golf, but we are going to spend some time watching the details of Stanley and Imani and how they work. And in watching those details, I think we'll be able to see what makes a great marriage and what makes things not so great.
What are we going to do today is a great question. Likely you had that question when you signed up for this workshop. What are we going to do? In a word, we're going to build an us. Now, an us is not a thing like Trevor's boat project sitting on the kitchen counter. An us is not a place like a living room or a kitchen or a garage. An us is a space. It's an idealized space between 2 people. We have Stanley, we have Imani, and we have, most importantly, Stanley and Imani together. They formed a style. They formed a way of interacting. They formed a pattern of relationship. And that pattern contains their conflicts, and it also contains the way they thrive in marriage. We want to look at their us, and we want to unpack it with you, allow you to see it, and think about it, and talk about it, and draw parallels to how you might conduct your us with your partner, with your spouse. An us is a grand and glorious idea. It's how 2 people have come to form relationship, and from that us, families grow. We want Stanley and Imani to show us their us so that we can draw from it principles and ideas and learn better ways to conduct our own.
Stanley, I just wish for once you would take the weekends more seriously. I want you to know what needs to be done around the house so that it's prepared. I want the kids to realize what they're going to be facing when they grow up.
Okay, sure. I mean, I don't think anything's really wrong here. I love you. And about 75% of our bills get paid.
This is what I'm talking about. Can't you be more serious? I think that we're probably going to be having 2 babies coming with the 2 that we already have. One kid's getting older, one adult's acting more childish. I just wish that you would approach this more seriously. I feel like I'm everybody's parent.
I don't think anyone is quite that bad, but I think for everyone that there is something that is worthwhile in a workshop like this. One thing to know is that everyone needs to pay attention to their marriage. All marriages need some attention. And that we would all really like to experience faith and hope and grace together.
I was hoping for a day for us to be together, spend some time, get things done, but then you and I could hang out. I don't know, sometimes it feels like these weekends always end in my disappointment.
I was hoping to go hiking.
What about us?
Us is fine, whatever that is.
Pardon my interruption, Stanley and Imani, but would you mind doing something for us? Would you just tell us a little bit more about yourself? Like, how did the 2 of you meet each other and fall in love?
I came from the Bahamas to go to college. And while at college, we had a mutual friend who suggested that Imani and I go out together. I thought it was a great idea.
Yeah, I've always been kind of shy about, going out and dating, but my friend said that he was a really good guy and we'd make a cute couple. So when he asked me out, I said yes. We went hiking, we got some ice cream. We had a lot in common.
What is the best trait, the character trait that you both admire in one another?
Imani is so kind. All her friends say that about her. And she's kind towards me and the kids as well. She always seems to be baking, calling, writing notes. She always seems to have somebody else in mind. I wish she would love herself as much as she's loved.
Stanley's humble. He's willing to own up to the fact that he's made mistakes, and I admire that. And even though it drives me crazy, he carries laughter and jokes in his back pocket.
Let's revisit and elaborate on this incredible idea, us. Marriage is where 2 people form this space. It's a unique and powerful team meant to accomplish God's intent. Together we'll examine the us, understand the us, and seek to strengthen the us, and try to eliminate the things that weaken this us.
So we ask the question, what are we about? Well, we have some couples that we have gotten to know who are very thoughtful and observant about how they want to define their us. There's this one couple that we got to know named Javier and Gina, and they created something called a rule of life for their marriage. A rule of life is an ancient Christian tradition that's really about creating habits and ways of relating with each other and goals as a couple. This couple was from Latin America, and so they had their rule of life on their front door in Spanish and in English so that everyone could see it when they came into their home. This is what it said. We will commit to seeking God's kingdom first in all that we are and do. Our home will be a place where family, friends, and guests find joy, comfort, peace, and happiness. We will exercise wisdom in what we choose to eat, read, and do in our home. We will learn to love one another as we develop our own talents. We will exercise initiative in accomplishing our life's goals. We will act in situations as opportunities rather than to be acted upon. We will always try to keep ourselves free from addictive and destructive habits. We will develop habits that free us from old labels and limits and expand our capabilities and choices. Our money will be our servant, not our master. Our wants will be subjects to our needs and means. We will honor God and choose to obey Him every day of our lives.
This couple's marriage is about something. There are 164 words that Jen just read. 23 times they write we, our, or us. 1 out of every 7 words. It's an us document. They have thought deeply about their own definition as a couple, of what their identity would be as a marital team. So here's the deep idea. The us that we are forming, that we are all forming, is patterned after the us that is Trinity. That is God, Father, Son, and Spirit. God in Trinity is in us. It is individual and community in one. When couples marry, they become an us also.
So the Trinity has 3 individual identities, but it has the same purpose, the same goals, and so much so the same that they are a mysterious 3 in 1. And so when we reflect on marriage, we are a kind of mysterious 2 in 1 as a couple. So we're going to ask you to spend some time talking in small groups soon here about being an us. We want to ask you to do 2 important things. First, briefly share how did you meet and fall in love and become an us. And then we're going to ask you to select your spouse's best, most important character trait to you and introduce your partner, your spouse, to the group with that trait. When you're done, you'll click the video and go on to the next section.